Point number one, lust doesn't start on the same day that it shows up. Did y'all hear me? Lust doesn't start on the same day that it shows up. You see, lust doesn't just like appear out of anywhere. It builds up. Let's go to Genesis chapter 39, verses 7 and see what it says there. So it says, and after a time, his master's wife cast her eyes on Joseph and said, lie with me. Notice the phrase, after a time. Potiphar's wife didn't tempt Joseph on the same day that she saw him. Did y'all hear what I just said? Potiphar's wife didn't tempt Joseph on the same day that she saw him. And for many of you, ever since you were born, lust has been playing the long game. And it's been waiting for the right opportunity to get to you. And the thing is, when you were watching that movie and that scene came up, you know that you shouldn't be watching that. You know that it would trigger something, but you still stayed. You told yourself that, oh, I'm going to get through it, only to find yourself a day later doing the deed to that scene. And the biggest problem I've seen with many people struggling with lust is that they only fight the temptation when it's present. What you do before the temptation is equally as important what you do in the moment of the temptation. Be lazy, be purposeless, watch all the videos, scroll through all those pictures. And when lust shows up, you are going to struggle. Point number two, you struggle with secrecy. Show me someone who is secretive, and I will show you someone who is two-sided. Potiphar's wife didn't tempt Joseph just in private. She tempted him both in public and private. Yet notice this, Joseph's response was the same. So my question to you is, what is your response when no one is watching? And you see, like, many people miss this. Lust is not the only issue in your life. Lust is the symptom of many other problems that you have in your life. And one of them is secrecy. And I know this struggle. I can relate to, like, I get it. And you're probably asking, like, why do I struggle so much with secrecy? I want you to go back to your childhood, right? And I want you to remember the first time that you made a mistake. So whether that was you broke something, you stole something, you got caught in a lie, you got in trouble in school, instead of being met with care, love, support, correction, you were met with criticism, abuse, punishment, neglect, silence. You learned something that day. You learned that mistakes make you unworthy. You learned that failure leads to rejection. You learned that, watch this, being fully seen is dangerous. So you adapted. You started hiding not just your mistakes, but your thoughts, your desires, your struggle, and you end up becoming the master of secrecy. And that's where lust found this opportunity. And this is where the real battle is secrecy. Because every time that you lust, you do it in secret. Point number three, you have too many encounters with lust. I want you to listen to this voice very closely, and I want you to tell me what voice this is. So there's these three options presented on the screen here, and I want you to choose the one that you think matches with the voice. Which one is it? That's a dog, right? Pretty easy, pretty easy. Let's do another one. I want you to tell me what this voice is. This is pretty hard. What's this voice? That's an airplane. Pretty easy, right? You were able to recognize these voices very quickly without seeing them. That's because you've had a lot of encounters, a lot of experience with these voices. If I told you that the barking noise was coming from the mouse, you would call me crazy. Why? Because we instinctively know that certain things don't belong together. What if I told you that One of the reasons why you struggle so much with lust is because you believe that it belongs in your life. You believe that you need it to survive. Once you start believing that lust does not belong together with my character, that lust does not belong with my identity, that lust does not belong with my marriage, lust does not belong with my purpose, then whenever lust presents itself, you'll be able to run away from it. Joseph knew that Potiphar's wife was not his wife. So whenever that she tried tempting him, it was easy way for him to run.